Hey there, so today I want to return to the wonderful world of comic book professionalism, and I want to show you what it takes to have some weirdo on the other side of an equation start bringing up your 5-year-old daughter, because hey, that's the kind of thing that normal professionals do. This guy too, Mark Lombardi, he is the epitome of professionalism. I mean, here we get to see him utilizing the Shadowgate's comic, now defunct because of him, I might add, but their Twitter to attack somebody. Now, how do I know that's him? Well, because if you follow the conversation out, you get that M. Night Shyamalan-like reveal where Eric Larson comes in and says, hey, Mark Lombardi, maybe you should post as yourself, because going out like that and insulting people, maybe it looks like you're doing it in an official capacity. And you know what? This was allowed for the longest time until this person decided to get uber professional and go and sink that thing all the way. But anyhow, that's not what we're talking about today. Today we're going to talk about thought crime. And today we're going to talk about how evil your good buddy here, that umbrella guy, is, because he posted the statement "re." So apparently some people want to make "re" here. Within this context, they want to make an attack on autism. That's what they want to say. Because of course, they can't actually have this be about what we're discussing here. You know, because someone here in a This Is Comicsgate blog is talking about Richard C. Meyer crumpling comics while engaging in conspiracy theories. Oh my God, crumpling comics? Oh no. So of course we can't talk about that. We can't talk about the issues with comic books. What we have to focus on is, oh my goodness, that person posted that as an insult to autism and Asperger's. Oh my God, and you're a father as well. 2 times evoked in the same day. Wonderful, wonderful people. You know, so I was thinking about this and I thought, okay, I'll make a good response. And apparently this response wasn't well received, but still, all right, I hear you out. You know, again, your good friend, that umbrella guy, he hears you, and he doesn't want to be insensitive. Therefore, I posted this. Since these people are so concerned with offensive language, look at all the ableist terms you're using. I mean, I've been looking those up lately. You know, I've been exploring the idea of ableism, and I wouldn't want you to go down that route that mean old umbrella guy did. So therefore, what I'll do is I'll show you, you know, all of the ableism. I'll give you a little sample of it. I'll talk about those words because you're so concerned. Either that or, well, it was another gotcha moment. And of course, you couldn't be doing that. So like I said, I would purge "re," but I'd expect you to purge all of the words that we cover from your lexicon. And if you need a comprehensive list, no worries. I'll get that for you because after all, it's about the kids. I mean, why else would you be bringing up someone's 5-year-old kid in a conversation in such a creepy manner and talking about them being a father, not once, but twice within context again. So here we have an article from Wikipedia, and I know we're talking about Wikipedia, but still we have to start somewhere, right? I mean, we have to purge the wrong thing, and man, we don't want my good buddy out there, Mark Lombardi, we don't want him to have to go focus on a 5-year-old kid again. So of course we need to find him something, a lexicon, so he'll know exactly what he shouldn't be using. I mean, since we're going out and we're purging words, let's go. And also, you have to purge other words, like bossy, for example. That, it's got to go. We got to ban that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go and look up that conversation from not too long ago. Also, we need to ban blind, crazy, cretin, cripple, daft, deaf and dumb, deformed, delusional, derp, differently abled, dim, disabled, dumb, epileptic, feeble-minded, fit, freak, gimp, hairlip, hysterical, imbecile, incapacitated, idiot, insane, invalid, lame, losing one's mind, mad, maniac, mental or mentally deficient, midget, moron, nut or nutter, patient, psycho or psychotic, of course, schizo, spastic, victim, window licker, even yuppie flu. Also, while we're at it too, I was reading an article the other day that said, well, I've never quite seen it that way, is also able rhetoric. So you got to throw that out. You got to throw out that ableist mindset. You got to reset yourself, and you got to say, yeah, I'm not using that. Now, before you sit down and say, I don't use any of those words, because I'm better than you. After all, you went out and utilized a term, and you're a monster. You're a terrible, terrible monster. Well, of course, we're playing by these rules, right? So, let's check out a few of yours. I mean, I just did a small precursory look. I didn't want to look up everything, but let's go look up some of the terms that you've utilized. So, Mark, if you can't find the words in here, because I know that this is like, where's Waldo? I'll point them out for you. Here we have you talking about people's blind support. And well, if we go back to the list, if we fade back in, blind, especially when used metaphorically, blind to criticism. Right there. So, that's actually not a good look, Mark. Not a good look at all. You wouldn't want to offend anybody, after all. I mean, here we have you talking about something being crazy good and how it was crazy hot outside. Well, let's check the list. Oh man, crazy, especially when used to describe something incredible or ridiculous. Oh man, that is terrible too. Again, wouldn't want to offend anybody because, well, we wouldn't want anybody evoking 5-year-olds in the name of gotcha points, would we? So let's continue on here. Oh, here's another one. Talking about somebody, you're talking about Nasser Rabadi actually, being a delusional snot muffin. Delusional. I seem to remember that being on here. Oh yeah, there it is. Delusional. Yep, doesn't work out. Again, terrible, terrible stuff. Here, you utilize the word slave. Oh my God, what are you talking about? And you utilize the word dim when you were talking about going out and correcting the name Dave Sim. Slave dim. Now, slave, you know that that's wrong, think. And well, right there, dim, again, let's check out the list. Dim or dim-witted. I'm sure that's how you meant it. So again, don't want you to have any trouble there because you know how those wrong-think mobs get. Here, of course, we have dumb. He's as dumb as he is hateful. Man, dumb. You know that it's some type of terrible, terrible thing, especially when preceded by the. Well, at least, you did a little bit of job there, not actually looping all of the wrong think words there. But, you still, when you went out and you used your descriptors, I think the same context that's being used there, that's probably problematic. All right, let's continue on. Oh man, freaking out. What can I possibly freak out about today? I know that's an older one, so hopefully you've already rectified this situation, bud. But look at that. Freak. When you're talking about freak, obviously. And when you're talking about freaking out, yeah, freaking out, that right there, you're talking about somebody that's not able to deal with reality. You're talking about a mental condition. You know that that's inappropriate, but again, maybe you used it last, 2 years ago, so maybe you're okay there. Never know. Look at all of this use of idiots. My God. I mean, it sets my heart aflutter when I see this. Because again, I know what kind of pitchforks and torches all you folks get together, and I wouldn't want you to have any problem. Idiot, of course, as you might not know, it was a diagnostic term used for people with low IQ scores, under 30, when the IQ test was first developed in the early 1900s. It's no longer used professionally. Before the IQ test was developed in 1905, idiot was also commonly used as a casual insult towards anyone perceived as incompetent at doing something. So, that same hard R word that people complain about, well, you're using a far, far older, far more antiquated word there when you utilize idiot. And well, we know about antiquated terminology, and we know how ugly and unsophisticated that is, and apparently you are indeed a sophisticant. So, imbecile when you're talking about someone in office. And man, there are a lot of things like this said there. So let's check that out. Imbecile. That also, well, there's a diagnostic term with people with SkyQ scores between 30 and 50 in the early 1900s, no longer used professionally. Imbecile was commonly used as a casual insult towards anyone perceived as incompetent at doing something, just like idiot. Man, again, got the double whammy of things that are utilized, again, much in the way that hard R words. You know how terrible that is. And no, we're not talking about the R-E-E-E-E word. We're talking about a different one. But you know what I mean, buddy, right? So here we have yet another one. Talking about lame screen names. This was actually posted today. I mean, so I know that you haven't overcome that. Lame. A reference to difficulty walking or moving. This is quite actually a triggering term. I mean, you're talking about people that can't move around. They can't move. The height of ableism here. Man, my God. I want to save you from yourself, man. You know what you need to do? You need to go out and form your own social justice Hail Marys. Maybe throw yourself on, a stack of Crayola, maybe some Play-Doh in one of those noiseless rooms. Maybe that'll help you out. Let's go in. Oh, man, maniac. Maniac. Now, you know that has bad connotation. Yep, on the list as well. Let's continue on and look on some other ones. Psycho. Now, that is definitely not a good term. I mean, I see all of these thrown around, and I know you're hashtag resisting when you're throwing a lot of them around, so that makes it seem okay. But yeah, we don't want to use that. Now, anyway, I could have continued on and on doing this, but I think you get my point. I think my point is here that either you subscribe to the idea of this, or you're going out for gotcha points. You're trying to find something to be offended about when you know damn well that this kind of stuff, you're not talking about that. You know that nothing was aimed at autistic kids or autistic people out there. In the same right, hopefully, that you aren't going out and aiming at folks with ableist rhetoric. Unless, of course, that's what you're doing. I mean, again, turnabout's fair play here, so maybe we should judge you on that same scale. I don't know. I mean, I find this to be an absurd thing, and especially when you go out, and especially when you use it to rail about something that totally tries to change subjects. But that's these folks out there. They do this all the time. They find something to nitpick. They find one thing out of everything there to try to take away, to try to diminish. Because you know what? They don't have arguments. They don't have points. Their only points is that they are a goose-stepping status quo. Those folks, they say walk lockstep or else. And when they say walk lockstep, well, look at companies that have it. Here, you have Alterna being mentioned. Why is Alterna being mentioned as a thing that's quote-unquote deplatforming people for spreading hate? AKA Alterna spreads hate. Well, because, oh my God, they repost people buying their books, and they thank consumers while doing it. Isn't that terrible? If you point that kind of stuff out too, if you point it out, well, you get responses talking about kids there. You have your 5-year-old brought up into it. When you say, hey, spreading hate speech, that's his crime. You're a piece of work. No wonder people in the industry are afraid to say in public what they'll say to a person like myself behind the scenes. Because, hey, if they don't walk lockstep, this is what they get. And of course, you can see how fast that's brought up. How fast these folks will turn on a child. How fast they'll bring up something with someone aiming at your life and your livelihood, because that's the type of people they are. That comes as no surprise, however. I mean, if you look at statements like this in the same day made there, you've sided yourself with an artist who owned and may still own a Nazi uniform, and another who just so happened to be in Charlottesville by accident. I'm confident in my life, my choices, and my line of friends and allies. So, somebody going out and owning regalia, that's a terrible, terrible thing. Those people that were in Charlottesville, one where if you go and you look at the pictures there, mingled in with all of those counter-protesters, apparently they were all monsters. It doesn't really matter the context. It doesn't really matter what's brought up. It doesn't really matter what you say. Because when you bring up the same points, as I say here, ableist language, because we're talking about that, right? That was the whole post. Nope, that doesn't matter. In fact, if you wanted to see someone blow up spectacularly, we should cover all of that. But like I said, the one thing that really, really sticks out in my mind is going descript about 5-year-old daughter sitting there while recording videos. Again, very, very descript when, you're talking about people that say family should never be brought up. That's not something I personally bring up, but hey, I don't expect nicety. I don't expect anything from people that go out and they shill for an industry that allows this kind of terrible behavior time and again. But anyhow, you tell me what you think. Man, ableist indeed. Also, if you like this kind of content, please consider supporting the channel. There's a little bell icon. Ring that sucker if you decide to subscribe. Make sure that you go out and you hit that like button. All types of wonderful stuff you can do. If you want to go further, there are links within the description as well, but make sure that you leave comments. And as always, I want to say that I appreciate you showing up. Tomorrow we will do it again. Thanks.